I'm gonna argue with you. You're so correct. But they're the same guy.
They are the same. Oh, to be fair, the talking dagger Saba was really good.
Oh, okay. Oh, it looks like we're off. Enough about Power Rangers and how wrong I am. Look at that emote. Okay, stop, chat. You're distracting.
We got a bomb.
First item. Yeah, beautiful first item. This is gonna cut out a lot of the farming. I mean, they might want more bombs. They might want some more money. And here's a map. Pendant at Hera, 4 and 2 at Eastern and Desert, respectively. Very cool.
There is nothing wrong with that at all. But yeah, no, bombs, as you said, are going to make things very easy because there are those 3 chests in Escape that normally, if you don't have a bomb for, you would have to wait till you got the power glove to lift back up and drop back down into the sewers here. But because we have the bombs, we're going to get our fighter's sword here. We can take care of those 3 chests, not a problem. Now, those 3 chests, at least in the newer logic, tend to have at least one thing worth going back for. Not sure how it's going to be here with this, but it's always fun to take a look at.
Yeah, a little bit of ammo there, some money and some magic for Bradley. Well, it looks like they both went for all of that. That's beautiful. Having the extra bombs, I mean, they do want 1 for those 3 items pre-Sanctuary, but having a couple more for Kakariko Village is also really nice to have. They're going to want, what, 3 bombs and then 100 rupees coming into Kakariko? So, which you guys will see. I'm sure these guys will route similarly up until that point. I don't see any divergence until at least after Kakariko Village in the maze game.
Yeah, the only reason you would not go to Kakariko Village first is if you didn't have the bombs and didn't have the rupees, didn't have either one of them to go over there. Then you might potentially go down to the Southern Shore first, drain the well, and do all that section. But assuming they have at least any decent count of rupees, they would absolutely be going, hey, we have a bee in a bottle.
Yeah, very nice. That's a great way to get interrupted by a bee in a bottle. See, that's even more incentive, having bombs and having a bottle. Kakariko is more than likely their first choice.
Yeah, that's, dare I go with unbelievable?
Yeah, unbelievable. I wonder if they'll use it. Just let it go.
Well, there is the way. I'm not sure how I know there's the mechanic where if you release the bees in town at a certain spot, it will fly over and give you rupees. I think that's how it works.
Maybe. But so much ammo. Well, I guess that was an upgrade, not more ammo, but nothing all that great so far in this escape other than bombs. Well, the bottle's pretty awesome, I will say. It's 1 fetch quest out of the way early on.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. And, we sit in here and we are always hoping for, these giant, seeds where, we want to be in go mode in the half hour. The quality of play here with both Ben and Willard is such that blue tunic, nothing beautiful there, as we have the banana hat. I am highly approving of the banana hat, by the way.
Same here. Love
the quality of players that we have, I don't want to see a go mode seed, a 30-minute go mode seed. I want to see one where it forces our players to not just have to make routing decisions, but have to make execution decisions, and to see the absolute, amount of execution that these two can, have and can display. Honestly, I'm always rooting for a pedestal seed, but this is the type of competition where their runners are so evenly matched that a pedestal seed could actually be, spell the difference with something. That's what I want to see. I want to see stuff that's going to allow us to see as much as we can of our players' ability.
Same here. Nobody wants, some, of course, the racers would want a really short seed, but as spectators, we do not want a short seed. We want to see all the stops pull, none of the stops pull. We want to see pedestal seed, Sahasrara. Not necessarily all dungeons, but most of the dungeons. I wouldn't even wish all dungeons on any racer, not even my opponents. But that being said, I kind of also hope the best for them because this is game 1. If this was game 3, I would really hope for just the trolliest of trolley seeds. But game 1, let's give these guys a little bit easier of a way to go. Honestly, I think if it was an early go mode, Ben would have the advantage early out just because he is such a veteran when it comes to A Link to the Past vanilla to begin with that he'd have that one up on Bradley for sure.
There are very few people in this tournament who I would give a nod and execution over Ben, just because his, like I said, his knowledge of the non-randomized game is going to give him that execution. I actually did his last race and was actually interviewing him about that, and he said point blank he does not enjoy, well, he doesn't necessarily enjoy, but he feels that early sword upgrade, huge sword upgrades, early tempered, early butter sword, bad for him because he knows how to go through and do everything with the lower swords. So he was telling us that, yeah, I'd much rather have Master Sword throughout most of the game because he feels it gives him an advantage.
Oh, of course it would. Just like having, really early go mode, anybody that's good at execution, I mean, they're going to excel. Somebody that has to make logistical decisions on the fly and, the gambles really pay off, especially for less than veteran runners. That's not to say anything against Willard either. He is really good at this game. He's really good at making decisions on the fly, and his execution is on point as well. So it's not like this is a shoo-in for Ben. He's going to have to try his best. All right, we're coming out of the escape finally. It's always hard to find stuff to ramble about during the escape, isn't it?
It is, but sometimes we sort of talk about what's happening. Let chat know. Hi, I see you guys over in chat as we get the burrito there from the Sanctuary chest. And now here is the first part in the game where we can diverge. Willard obviously has been counting items, knows the map is there in the chest, so that is good. But this is, again, that first point where we can see route divergence, but it doesn't look like we're going to get that, as both of our runners are going to make their way over towards the Lost Woods and then Kakariko Village. Interesting thing is going to be what we get for tree pulls. Yeah,
there's 3 different types of tree pulls. Let's see if these guys go for at least a couple of them. Looks like Ben's just going for the one and then heading out. That's the 1 kill tree pull, I think.
I believe that is the green tier, yes. Yep.
Sometimes it's hard to recreate them. Did you see what that was? That looked like Samaria.
That did look like the red cane to me.
So this is a more than likely Aghanim required a seed. Now, it might not be Aghanim required, where you don't need the cane, but that's also banking on not needing the cane for East Side G Tower. That's not a gamble that many of us would make, especially in a tournament setting.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely. I mean, that basically says Aghanim's going to be required here, because with that, no East Side Ganon's Tower key, no Turtle Rock, and no Misery Mire. The chances of all 3 of those being a thing are very, very slim. And as you mentioned, that's not a gamble I'd be taking.
No. Luckily, I mean, for us as spectators, we do know that there's 2 pendants in Dark World, so it's a possibility. We can't completely rule it out.
Second tier tree pull. Look at that.
Beautiful.
16 bombs.
Full bombs. Willard has been going out of his way to kill enemies as well, so he should be set up for this. Yep, there it is. Nice. Very nice.
But, that tree pull is huge there, because now, as you mentioned, they're going to have all the bombs they need for Kakariko, and they can immediately go over to the South Shore if they want. We're going to start here in Blind's house in the Light World. There are 5 chests here. There are several locations in the game that have a conglomerate of 5 or more chests. The biggest one of those, of course, being the 7-item cave up in Death Mountain. But right now, Blind's house providing some money, some hearts, some arrows, everything you'd expect to see in a Thieves' hideouts. Ways to heal damage, the money you stole, ways to kill things, and more life.
Yeah, a whole lot of love, actually, in the Thieves' Hut. Ben definitely going out of his way to pull all of those 5 rupee pots, too. He's almost at 100, enough for the bottle vendor. I'd imagine Willard's going to do the exact same thing, pulling all these pots.
More than likely, and there's a very good chance that, unless something absolutely crazy happens, that Ben has plenty of money leaving the well.
That's right. Yeah, with 20 free rupees underneath pots in the well as well, he should be fine.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Hey, there's the Master Sword.
Nice little blue gear going on here.
The interesting thing is, this isn't VAT. This isn't progressive logic. So that wasn't like the first sword upgrade. That's legitimately the Master Sword.
Yeah, just lucky progression. Hey, Willard's skipping a pot there. He knows he has enough for skipping a lot of money pots. This is pretty cool. He knows that he has an opponent on his hands with Ben being such a veteran player. He's skipping a little bit. Ooh, bad chicken clip there. Cuckoo did not go on the wall.
That's probably a good thing, because the last time I think it was the Ben matchup, he did that, and he got cluck blocked by the chicken. It wouldn't get out of his way to get that chest.
Oh man, my very last race, I actually soft locked where you have to save and quit out because you pick up nothing, just invisibility or an invisible bomb, and then you can't throw it, and you can't leave the building. You just have to save and quit out. It's a chance you take to do that little minor glitch for entertainment. Yep. Let's see what the sick kid has. A little bit of money. Here's 20 bucks. Get out of my house.
Now, that's 20 bucks to go pick me up some Tylenol, but, you know, we're horrible people, so we're just going to leave him sick there. We're not going to go pick up the Tylenol.
Yeah, well, we'll wish for him to get back better whenever we get the Triforce. It'll be fine. He just has to suffer through it for a little bit longer than he wants.
Yep. Now, let's check and see if we need to go back and get some reading done. And, oh, probably not going to get some reading done because they have the blue cane there in the library. Now, there needs to be an option to find red paint buried somewhere, so you can just use the blue cane and the red paint to get the Cane of Samaria.
That'd be fantastic. That'd be fantastic. But then it still does the same thing as Cane of Samaria. It doesn't even matter. You just paint it, and then it puts sparkles around you that kind of protect you and lag the game out. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm a downer. I'm sorry. I'm totally a downer. Just ruin it. Ooh, neither one of them going for the money there in the maze game. It's a little bit out of the way, but sooner or later, these guys will probably want to head to Zora's domain to see what they can buy for 500 rupees, and they're a long way off from that. Willard checking his map. I think that's his second time checking it, possibly. Making a note of where everything is and planning ahead. More ammo for Ben there in the swamp or in the dam. It's unfortunate.
Well, damn.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody says that coming in, getting the chest first, and then leaving is faster. I don't think it is. I like to argue that no, I don't think so. I think if you come in first and pull the switch and then leave, you can immediately hold up, and kind of the same thing with the library where you're immediately holding down, peek at the item, and then head back inside. Yeah, it's a little bit of love. It doesn't matter anyway. Oh, well.
It is what it is. There's not a whole lot we can do. And as you see, Willard doing the strat you were talking about, so... Yeah. Yep, saving frames. That's what he's doing. Probably not. It's probably the same exact speed, and I'm just full of it. Hey, speedrunners are very superstitious people, so we are. I've heard so many mixed opinions about things, and sometimes you practice the wrong strat. You practice a slower strat because people tell you it's faster. But hey, it is what it is. Ben had a little bit of trouble there with the baby Moldorms. Threw a bomb at the double side and didn't hit either one of them. Oh, we've got the bow. So that tells us the logic is pointing us towards the Eastern Palace here, because now we can go ahead and complete that. But that's really the first big item we have seen here in the game is the bow here in the Southern Shore 5 item cave. Yeah, the bow is 100% always required in every seed because of Ganon's Tower. But knowing that Crystal is at Eastern Palace, we were well aware of that to begin with. So I wonder how fast or how long it will take before these guys head to Eastern Palace. I know a lot of runners like to wait until they're a little bit overpowered to head into dungeons. Having like the boots and the hookshot would be really nice for Eastern, especially because you never have boots in the vanilla game. Hookshot will allow a pretty nice shortcut in Eastern Palace as well to get one of the chests. I think it's the map chest in vanilla. I'm not sure. Map or compass, one of those. I couldn't even tell you what's going on in where chests are in vanilla anymore at this point, unless it's the big chest. Oh, hammer on the island! Whoa. Yeah, I was hammer on the island. Wow. So, Pearl and Mirror are both required to get to, and the flippers to get to the hammer. That's pretty amazing. Yeah, we did see Willard doing the fake flippers glitch here. He's going to go ahead and pick up the hobo. I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. He actually missed his opportunity to swim directly into the spot. There's those two rocks, one at the bottom and one at the top of the bridge. Yep. And if you get caught on one of those, that sniper on the bridge will shoot you in the face and kill you. In this version of the logic, it doesn't soft lock the game; it just kills you instantly. Hey, there we go. Reverse fake flippers out of the bridge. You don't see a lot of runners do that. That's the first time I've seen reverse flippers. Wow, I didn't even think that was possible, but reverse flippers indeed. That is all kinds of sexy. Yeah, it's nearly impossible. I mean, it is a pixel-perfect jump, and if you have the boots and you're doing like the insta jump where you tap A to jump off a ledge immediately, it's a different pixel. It's very difficult. So really cool on him for this routing here. No, that is actually a really cool thing. I mean, I knew it was theoretically possible. That's the first time I've seen it. And yeah, Willard using the reverse fake flippers to route himself right up to Eastern Palace, which is what we suggested doing anyway. Of course, don't listen to me. I don't run the game. I just talk about it. But let's see what's in Nasrallah's back room.
Yep. And it's kind of nice to see that trick in action, because we do get to see that, you know, he saved a little bit of time there doing it. Hey, some money and some red gear. So much for the blue gear. I mean, I guess the bow broke that in the first place, but I love the fire shield. Do you like it? It's my favorite. Like, the fighter shield is too small, and then the mirror shield takes up all of Link's amazing sprite. That the fire shield, the red one, is just perfect.
But banana shield.
Oh no. The riot shield's only cool when you have like the blue tunic and the gold sword, so you have like the blue gold aesthetic going on.
Exactly, it's so awesome. Gotta love the banana shield. But we also have the a boomerang pickup here from both of them. And good news for Ben, he's getting enough for Zora. Bad news for Willard, he doesn't, but we're not routing to Zora right now. We are routing our way into Eastern Palace, the first of our 7 crystals. And let's say, for example, guys, you know, we're lazy and never checked your map here. I'm not sure if we have game audio, if we have the audio going on in the background, but there are 2 distinct soundtracks in the game. There is the Pendant Dungeon soundtrack and the Crystal Dungeon soundtrack. So if you, for some reason, never checked your map, speaking of that, which we just got there in that chest for Willard, you can tell what dungeon we were in simply based on the music, whether it's a crystal or a pendant.
Yeah, the crystal music is actually a little bit more sinister. There's some like high string plucks that go on that's a little bit faster, and the pendant dungeons are a little bit more relaxed, and I mean, they're kind of eerie, but they're not as intense. It's always good to note, you know, especially if you forget which dungeon you went into, or if you're looking for an item for go mode and you're just jumping into different dungeons, you know, it can definitely help out a lot. Save you from wasting time in a pendant dungeon when you don't need to be in it.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have a big key find here for both of them. And this is very interesting because, you know, from a lot of this early part of the race, the routing has been exactly the same, you know, the locations they've gone to. And Ben has been ahead for most of it. And then Willard pulls out the reverse fake flippers and suddenly gives himself a 5-second lead.
That's right. I mean, of course, Ben has the money lead on him, which isn't much considering if Willard wants to, there is the money room here in Eastern Palace. You can jump in and get, I think it's like 65 rupees or some amount, but definitely enough to, you know, to merit the Zora King amount. The mushroom, that's another fetch quest item they found. I mean, the bottle is, of course, the luxury item, but the mushroom plays no other part other than taking it to the witch to get an item. It's cool to find, and it's unfortunate to find at the same time. At least it's something. It's some kind of progress.
Right. It's something that sends you on a path. And that's one of the things, you know, again, as we're making our way through Eastern Palace, there's really not a whole lot to talk about in Eastern Palace. But with randomizers, especially games, you know, like Zelda, whether it's Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Link to the Past, all of those Zelda games, they have certain items, progression items, that you need to be able to complete the game and continue on with the game. And that's one thing that a lot of these games tend to do, is you'll find certain items, and that will sort of push you in the next direction to go. We found the bow, it pushed us here to Eastern Palace. Now in Eastern Palace, we found the mushroom, which, assuming that's the only thing we find here, it's going to push us over towards the witch's hut. And you know, that's just one of the things, and that's a good thing to note about the game. If you have no idea where to go, then you know, that's where the game is going to push you. Follow what the game is telling you. Let the game take you where it needs to go.
Yep. More often than not, it can bottleneck, and you don't have a lot of choices. I mean, these guys could have went to like outside of desert, and I guess that's really all the. I guess they could have checked Zora, also farmed up the money for that, but they didn't have a lot of choices. So, getting that bow is definitely, especially in version 8, telling them they have to come here to find out where to go next. And hey, they're getting the crystal along the way. Why not? Also, right. Willard does have enough money now. He didn't even need to visit the money room. That it's not really a secret room. It's not like out of the way. It's part of that dark room he just went through with the 2 green Igors. But definitely has enough money now.
Right now, the interesting thing here, the only other plot they could have gone was Aghanim's Tower.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Getting the Master Sword, and they know that they're going to have to sooner or later. But again, like I said, with even Eastern Palace, or like I said with Eastern Palace, sometimes you want to be overpowered before you visit certain places, if you can be. You know, this hasn't really given them anything to power them up at all, but we'll see. Ooh. Ben catching back up with the...
oh, Titans, man. That opened up a lot right there.
Wow. Yeah, now as far as the game telling you where you need to go next, they have some choices to make. Not too many because they don't have Pearl yet, but I mean, they could head to the mountain now if they want to.
Yeah, I would be, if it's me, I would 100% be heading to Death Mountain right now, just because with the Titans Mitt, you have access to pretty much 90% of at least the western half of Death Mountain. You can do that, and normally you're going to get some, a way to find some more progression there. There's items up there. That's fine. Willard's going to go ahead and double check the sanctuary chest just to be safe.
Yeah. You can't blame him. You can't blame him. I'm sure that was just him double guessing himself that he was keeping track of the items. But maybe he messed up a little bit in Eastern and lost track of his items, and he thought, well, maybe I should go back. Willard is taking the Titans Mitts as the game, the version 18 logic telling him, hey, go to Zora now. He doesn't have flippers, so he won't be able to check the ledge item, unfortunately. I mean, unless, of course, Zora sells him the web fingers, or finger webs for 500 rupees, but both of these guys getting pushed by the seed in different directions. I love it. I absolutely love it. I bet they flip-flop and go opposite directions, too, do what each other did as soon as their treks are over.
Flipper, flop? Sorry.
The flip, yeah, finger web MD to fix that burn. Hey, look at that,
old
flippers.
Man, that's the flipper. Speaking of those, so Zora's not going to sell him. You're going to get him for helping an old man back to his house.
Now, I was going to say, that's amazing. If the ledge item is important, then Ben's going to have one up on Willard for going to the mountain first. That's pretty cool. Flipper flop, yeah. I don't think Chad appreciated that pun either.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, it happens. I do think that Willard might have taken the long way around. Well, no, doing fake flippers here would have taken just as long to go from Link's house. So this is probably the right routing. Let's see what that ledge item is. I'm excited to see if return visit's going to be required.
Book and Spectacle Rock, so that's going to open up Desert Palace and just a little bit of love.
All right, cool. So he's not wasting time there. But Ben finding two awesome items, the book opening up, both of the tablets and being able to read what's on the pedestal. That's pretty cool. I'm sure you guys are excited for that. And entrance into Desert Palace.
Right, and entrance into Desert Palace is more than likely where he's going to be going because, well, he's probably going to take those flippers to Zora first. Yeah,
I agree with that. Now, Willard, I wonder, did he save and quit right before coming to Zora?
Oh, mirror!
Yo!
Whoa, Zora making you reflect on what you're doing with your life here.
Yeah, that is one soggy magical mirror. Oh, the reflect. I didn't even catch it. You gotta slow down. You gotta slow down. Hey, now I don't remember seeing Willard drop off the mushroom. Did he?
He did. It was 20 red rupees.
Okay, so it pays off a little bit, kind of, sort of, not too much.
I mean, I'm not one to contain this, but at the end credits, they make a lot of mushrooms being drugs jokes.
Yep.
They make a lot of those in the end credits. Not that we are condoning the use of drugs here. We absolutely don't, so please don't. But I am very upset, and developers, if you're listening, you need to do me a huge favor here. You need to make sure this happens. If the mushroom is ever required to get the boots, you need to have the witch screen during the credits say drug running.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's drug running. Now, this is kind of interesting. Not to kill your pun, but that's 3. I think you're allowed 3 per 10 minutes. I think. No, I'm just kidding. It's interesting that Ben can swim faster than he can walk, which is nice. But Willard now has the option to go into Hera if he wants to, as well as grab the book and check the ether tablet while he's up here. So thinking that the flippers were going to give Ben an advantage didn't pan out like that at all. I bet Ben's happy to find that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And this opens up all of the light world to both of our runners, save for the eastern half of Death Mountain, which we need either the hookshot or the hammer to acquire. But aside from that, we are pretty much good. Willard's going to go ahead and find the book here. We do encourage reading, however. Reading is fundamental, guys. You keep doing that.
Yep. None of this would be possible. The randomizer in general would not be possible without guys that are really good at reading and writing, for that matter. So we encourage it for sure. but Ben is heading straight to Desert Palace now. I wonder if Willard's going to head up. I'm sure he's going to check Ether Tablet at least, but there are 2 items in Tower of Hera. Pendant or not, there are 2 items there. He doesn't have a fire source yet, though, unfortunately. So if something is in the basement, he will not be able to get to it.
True, but yeah, either way, we have the option of being boots blocked out of Desert or fire blocked out of Hera. I agree. I like the call both here. Ben wasn't up in Death Mountain already. He could have saved work back to the old man, but opting to do Desert because Desert's a crystal and there's a chance he can go through that. That's perfectly fine. I'm okay with this. I like it. Willard already being up here and exploring Death Mountain and having the mirror, he's going to be able to get the blue goo that's on top of Spectacle Rock here and check the Ether Tablet and find out that Swamp Palace and Ice Palace are not required. Crystals 5 and 6 are Thieves Town and Skull Woods, which are very nice, all things considered.
Yeah, right next to each other. Really nice.
And 2 of the easier dungeons to do. But yeah, Aghanim now is officially confirmed as required. And also, awesome shout-outs to my favorite music in the game, Dark World Bunny music.
Oh, yes. So it's the best music in the game, and if you're a speedrunner and you run like no major glitches, you hear it for a grand total of 7 seconds. It's bad. It's unfortunate.
It is very
But
unfortunate.
Randomizer fixes that for us. Let's see what the Ether Tablet gets. The Hylian gods throw down. Hey, the magical cape. He's really getting told to go to Aghanim's Tower.
Yeah, the cape could be required. There's anything on the other side of Bumper Cave, which is also nice.
Oh, something that you mentioned was that, Willard is kind of fire blocked for the basement in Hera, and then Ben is boots blocked here in Desert. He could actually steal oh, he doesn't need to, never mind. I was going to say he could steal a small key from the second half of Desert to make sure he gets these 2.
And there's the Moon Pearl.
He's going to go to Aghanim's Tower, probably as soon as he gets done checking the rest of Desert.
And there's the second item right there. So yeah, Desert Palace turning out to be a very good call for Ben. We'll see what happens with Willard here in the Tower of Hera.
Yeah, it's kind of neat that Ben's not leaving. Oh, he is. He is leaving. Oh, I see what he's doing. He's going to jump off the ledge and go check Aghanim's cave, bomb open that wall, and then he's probably going to save and quit the Link's house and head straight to Aghanim's Tower. Really cool play from Ben. I didn't realize he hadn't checked this yet. Cool routing.
Very interesting routing. I very much like this.
Yep, you don't often get to see that exit out of Desert where you jump off the ledge. Really cool place. Really cool place to see. I don't think I've seen it at all in the tournament.
That's 2 things I haven't seen, because I haven't seen that before. As we have the 1 single rupee there for Willard and Tower of Hera, and we have the reverse fake flippers. And yeah, that's exactly what's happening. We have the 300 rupee get, and then we have the save and quit. And I wasn't intentionally making that rhyme, but it happened anyway. So
I did it earlier.
We go.
I did it earlier, and I didn't point it out because I didn't mean to do it either. Willard having the know-it-all to, head upstairs and drop down the vanilla way to get to that chest where the Moon Pearl usually is, because he doesn't have the boots to get back across if he was to bomb jump. So really good on him. If you don't have the boots and you can't bonk back across, then you have to fall down sometimes 2 floors, and it's just horrible. Ben is defying me. Well, kind of. I had two theories. One is that he's going to want to be overpowered before he heads into Aghanim Tower, and then the other, that he should go straight there.
Ben didn't know Aghanim was required yet. He hadn't been to Dark World, so he now going into Dark World has confirmed that Aghanim is required. But at this point, he's probably going to just check all the stuff here in the Village of Outcasts. He has all the tools required that he can go and get the hammer. And hey, look, we have another B-Torp.
Nice. That's 3 bottles for Willard, isn't it?
That is 3 bottles.
Wow. Something I would like to point out is how awesome it would be if these guys got to G Tower without, like, if the cane wasn't required for crystals, and they got to G Tower and had to leave to go to Aghanim's Tower. That'd be so awesome. Not this time.
Yeah, I have seen a seed where that's been a thing where you didn't need cane, and then it turns out, and it was like an early go mode seed. Like people were in, it was a casual race. People were in Ganon's Tower like an hour 10, hour 15, and then it's right side required. Time to go hunt for the cane.
That's painful.
Yep. Turns out, oh hey, there's the fire rod.
Really good fire source nonetheless. Ben making all the plays right now.
So that's going to open up Skull Woods to Ben, as Willard is opening up Aghanim's Tower. So yeah, the variations on routing here are very, very interesting, because items-wise, right now, Ben definitely has the advantage. He can go ahead and explore the Dark World. But it's Willard gonna go ahead and take care of ajneb174, which we know he does need to get the Cane of Samaria. So it's a very interesting routing that we're seeing right now. I like it.
Yeah, now this could play out really big for Willard for two reasons that I can think of on the outset. One, if the boots are on the pyramid or something equally amazing. We know where like the hammer is in Samaria, but say boots are on the pyramid, that'd be pretty cool. Or say the boots are somewhere like the Bonk Cave. Willard found the cape through the book and mirror on the mountain. So, I mean, Bonk Cave could play out as a really big factor in their routing as well. Right now, I'd give it to Ben too, though. I totally agree with you there. His routing is on point. Coming in here and checking out all these overworld items really fast. It's neat that he doesn't make a beeline for the hammer, though. That hammer would come in handy and help with backtracking.
Oh, it definitely would, but it's at this point, it's one of those situations where you probably just want to route yourself over there eventually, because you can get a lot of overworld exploration done. I mean, there's the Hype Cave down in the Dark World Swamp area. That's going to have 5 items for you. You can basically sort of route yourself and wrap yourself up around there and be fine. And hey, hookshot!
Wow. So you totally called it there. This is paying off in a huge way for Ben. Holy moly. And I guess it makes sense too. You know, he has to walk anyway. He doesn't have the boots. Getting the purple chest out of the way that actually makes a lot more sense now that I think about it. Having the hook shot though, that's really nice. I wonder if he's going to pull it out and make use of it. Doesn't seem like it.
Well, hookshot's also one of those things that opens up, you know, a lot of stuff. Not that Swamp Palace was required, but you know, we've seen before where, you know, you're gonna have to go independent dungeons. And Swamp Palace is a horrible dungeon to have as a pendant because there are 6 items in Swamp Palace. Hey, those boots!
Okay, Ben is pulling out all the stops. Holy moly! So he's definitely taking a huge lead there. Ooh, almost missed out on the purple chest, re-grabbing it there. Awesome finds for Ben, one after another. Hook shot and then the boots. Willard having a little bit of trouble with the tower here, too. Circle Pot's room giving him some trouble, if you guys didn't catch that. It's getting beat up a little bit. Nice. Boomeranging, hitting Zelda as she's unconscious in the face with the magical boomerang. That's savage, Willard. Absolutely savage.
It would, but didn't wake her up, so...
Yeah. Get up, you're being teleported to a different dimension. Okay, fine, sleep, whatever. What Ben is doing right now is something that I love. I did not know about this. I thought that if you left the screen that you left the purple chest on, that it disappeared, that it despawned, you have to go back for it. I didn't know that it had this much, you know, that it gets stored there while you go over here and do this.
And now time for Hype Cave. Let's see if Hype Cave is going to live up to its name. So far, we've got a red rupee. Hey, there's the 4th bottle, another bee in a bottle. That's 3 bees in a bottle.
3 out of 4 bees.
Wow,
not much of a hype cave.
4 bottles agree. Bees are the way to go.
Yeah, not much of a hype cave, though, unfortunately. I mean, meh. 3 bees is pretty hype, though.
3 bees is amazing.
Yep. I hope if Ben finds the other 2, or the other one, that he just pops them all out during the Motil fight. There you go. 3 bee drills.
More bunny music.
Oh, so good. We know it's not going to be the boots. It's just the regular glove. How unfortunate is that?
Regular glove.
That's the not so powerful glove. Unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But he does have ajneb174 out of the way, and I'm sure with depending on his routing, I'm sure he'll be fine. He'll find the boots and be able to go up there and get Cane of Samaria. So he's not out of it yet. A lot of game left.
Bombo's putting a little love in our heart right now as Willard giving us all sorts of delicious more bunny music, which I cannot complain about. Anytime I get to hear the awesome bunny theme is a good time.
Yep, can't complain about it. Even though I'm sure he's complaining about it. He's probably a little tilted from all the bad warps, you know, trying to use that mirror to get back into Light World, and it giving him a little bit of trouble every time. Looks like Willard's on his way to find his Moon Pearl.
Yeah,
over to Desert Palace.
Yeah, Desert's the next logical place for him to go, absolutely. And hey, as we said, Ben routing himself directly over to the hammer, as we thought was going to happen.
Yep. His routing has been on point, and it's really paid off. you know, getting the items that he had, it was a gamble to come into Dark World right out of the gate and, you know, look around. But I mean, it's paying off. Look at this too. Heading straight up, I'm sure he's heading to go find his Power Glove. The unfortunate Power Glove.
Hey, there's a reason the Power Glove was really bad when Nintendo marketed it. They knew even, they were making fun of it here in the SNES days. They knew.
They knew. They did. I don't know. I actually kind of like it. Sometimes that Power Glove can win you races.
It certainly can. Although, can I say though, I kind of want, not seeing that Thieves Town and Skull Woods are just 5 and 6. I really want, you know, I really want the Portly Pixie here to be required.
She definitely could be for what, the flute or ice rod?
Flute, ice rod, or medallions.
Oh, that's right. I haven't even considered medallions. Oh my goodness. So we do have a lot more game left. Everybody that's thinking Ben is close to go mode, he's probably not.
No, Ben is nowhere close to go mode. Like I said, there's still the ice rod out there. The flute is still out there. Any of the medallions could be out there. And hey, we're going to see some catfish here.
Yep. I love the catfish. It's one of those locations that's like just out of the way where people... Hey, another source. I love Lamp. I love Lamp.
I do love Lamp.
I'm not just looking around the room and saying that I love things. As I was saying, the catfish is like just out of the way that some people put it off. And if they put it off and it's an amazing item, then, you know, it can give you a really good advantage. But Ben knows better. He goes out of his way for it. And Willard picks up his shiny pearl. Wait, will that lamp work? I mean, it's been underwater. I don't know.
It's an oil lamp. You're fine.
Oh, that's hilarious. The catfish giving you a lamp is pretty neat. It makes as much sense as Quake. Actually, I think Quake actually does make sense in Japanese lore, something to do with a catfish and earthquakes.
It does, because if you go back into Pokemon, there is a Pokemon called Whiscash, which looks really similar to the catfish here in Link to the Past, and Willard doing the same routing that Ben did with jumping off the side. So that's twice we've seen that.
Really
yeah, I know
cool
there's actually a whole big thing about giant catfish and earthquakes and all that. So that's something you see in not just, you know, Link to the Past here, but Pokemon as well. But so I do agree with you on that. And Willard on those delicious half-heart strats.
Yeah, a little bit nervous. Don't run into the bomb, please. I don't know of anybody that's done that in the tournament.
Okay.
I did. In one of my matches, I ran straight into a bomb during the escape and killed myself. Had to do all of the sewers over again. But he did not. He did not kill himself. It looks like he's on his way. Where's Willard going? Oh, he's using the portal.
Yeah, using the Dark World portal. World portal.
A little bit of a tongue twister. This is one of the best advantages of doing Aghanim, even in a seed that Aghanim is not required, is having that portal so you don't have to do crazy overworld exploration, depending on your gear. Obviously, these guys are just loaded with awesome.
We've got our information here. I'm going to read this directly from chat here, so thank you for that.
Perfect.
So for those of you who can't see this one that's being reposted here, in Japanese mythology, the Namazu or Onamazu is a giant catfish who causes earthquakes. He lives in the mud under the islands of Japan and is guarded by the god Kashima, who restrains the catfish with a stone. When Kashima lets his guard fall, Namazu thrashes about, causing violent earthquakes.
Wow. So I was kind of right, just from like hearsay or something I read probably 15 years ago. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. We are good. And we got Ben going through Skull Woods.
I like this play. I like jumping straight into this dungeon, getting it over with, and I'm sure he's well aware of what number of crystals 5 and 6 are. So
absolutely. 5 and 6, as we said, really being Skull Woods, being Thieves Town, those are super easy crystals to obtain. And he also having the book, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a pedestal check here at the end of this.
Yeah, just like the Fat Fairy, we could see a multitude of things at the pedestal still. Which, if such is the case, Willard will also get a small lead on, you know, killing Moldorm as early as he did. What color pendant was Hera? Do you remember?
Blue, I believe.
Okay. Just seeing if he got an extra item out of that or not, which he did not. Really nice routing from Willard. Wow, he does not have the boots yet, guys. So swimming is just a little bit faster than walking, especially when you don't have to, dodge enemies. And then taking that whirlpool, superb routing from Willard here. I'm not sure what he's going to do with it though. Now that I think about it, where is he? Oh, he's going to get his hammer.
He's going to get his hammer. Yeah.
Wow, really cool.
Really great routing. Now, interesting thing here, that Cane of Samaria that we mentioned that is hidden in the Lumberjack Cave, if we had it here in Skull Woods, Ben would be able to forego pulling that statue and just drop it rock like it's hot right on the switch.
Yep. He's actually pretty seasoned when it comes to doing the strat in that room with the two mummies, those two Gibdos. But you can do this strat a million times until the cows come home and still get RNG that's just like, nope, we're going to give you a hard time, which he did have a hard time. Also, I'd like to note that he has the Master Sword. So his Mothula fight's going to be a little bit more difficult than we're used to seeing. Gold Sword and Tempered Sword moths are significantly easier.
Yeah, if we have Fire Rods, we'll just use that.
Yeah, but limited magic, and he's kind of low on health. And he does not have that blue potion from Spectacle Rock.
That is
true.
We'll see. He does not have that. I forgot about that. Wow, I thought he blind got that. And Fire Rod dash for all the lulz.
Yeah, he only flubbed a tiny bit in that Hellway there, the Skullwoods Hellway. You can see his level of execution with rooms like that where he just knocks them out no matter what kind of gear you have. That's always the same kind of a room and not necessarily easy. But man, so quick.
Yeah, let's see how this moth fight goes.
Yeah, I'm rooting for him to not die.
I think we're all rooting for him to not die.
Yep. Well, the whole sticking to Willard is who I'm rooting for, and Ben's who you're rooting for. I still hope he doesn't die. Oh my goodness.
Oh, half heart. Are you kidding me? What? What?
He's alive. Oh my god!
What?
He got it!
Are you kidding me right now?
I had to censor myself. He got it. No expletives. Holy moly.
Oh my. And Willard now with his third B over there in Hype Cave. But are you kidding me right now? Half heart moth!
His heart has to be pumping because mine is. Holy cow. Let's see that pedestal.
Mine's pumping and I'm just sitting here doing commentary.
Yeah, let's see that pedestal. It can only get better from here. Wow.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and he's going to pick up the chest in here first. Then he's going to go to the pedestal more than likely.
Yeah, he's obviously been counting items. He knows what he's doing. That's a little trick there that we didn't find out until like the middle of the beginning of the tournament is there's actually pots underneath the bridge that are obscured by the bridge. And somebody figured out, oh, hey, you can just pick up these pots and you don't have to go the long way around. It's really cool to find, considering, it's been out for 25 years.
Yeah, no kidding. Here we go, everybody.
Yep.
We are heading towards the pedestal. We have all kinds of options. What is it going to be? What is it going to be?
Nope.
Oh, just a little love in your heart. That's disappointing.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever get anything as good as that blind flute pull from the other day.
I saw that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's going down in the history books. Speaking of which, Willard, speaking of which doesn't make sense. Willard actually finding his boots now. Really cool routing on his part. So he's probably going to do the same thing that Ben did, just kind of in reverse fashion. Oh man, Ben heading straight up to the mountain too. He has a lot of chests to check here, guys. So everybody kick back and relax, grab yourself a drink, and enjoy Ben spending the next, 3 hours on the mountain, because there's a lot of chests to check.
There are a ton of chests to check here, including the infamous 7-item cave, which we were mentioning earlier.
Yeah. He can also, get some information, find out what he needs to get into Turtle Rock. That's always good to know. Well, I guess if he wanted to, he can also do. Well, he can do a lot. He can do everything on the mountain. Yo, Tempered Sword. Really good find already. Hey, progressive swords.
Yeah, we are getting progressive swords, even though we're not in the logic here. This is kind of cool. Yep. Although that does sort of temper my expectations about what else we're going to find up here.
Yeah, it leaves me red with jealous or with envy. I'm not as good at puns. Oh, okay. I'm not as good at puns. So when I try them, they're extra painful.
That's okay. We can teach you the way of the pun.
I'm hanging out with the right people. Hey, look at what Willard found by having the hammer his first visit to the blacksmith area. Fantastic. We don't know if it's going to be useful or not, but having a medallion in hand is nice, and that wavy coin could come into play later. Is that like wavy lays? Kind of. I just answered, even though it didn't make sense. Just, yeah, kind of. Kind of, okay. I mean, it could be like wavy lays, you never know. Yep. All right, he gets himself a hook shot. For anybody that missed it, Ben did a nice little block trick there. It's one of the few minor glitches that's actually possible in the vanilla game. Ooh, there's Ice Rod. Yo, Ice Rod, wow. That block where you can shoot Fire Rod or send your hook shot through it while you're pushing it. You can actually do that in the English and the European versions of the game, not just the Japanese. One of the very few glitches that you can do in the English version. Here we go. Is it going to be Quake? Where Willard has another? Ether. Oh no, that's unfortunate. Ether? Have you always called it or pronounced it that way? Because it's always pronounced Ether. Yes. It's one or the other, and you can't argue which it is because they're both right. But I've always called it Ether, so it's perfect that we don't agree on. Hey, silver arrows. Ether way is fine. Yeah, Ether way is fine with me too. But yeah, silver arrows there, and we have Willard going into Thieves Town. Thieves Town is an interesting dungeon here that I always found, was one of those things that carried sort of really continued on the tradition that was sort of started in Zelda 2, where you have certain bosses in Zelda, or in the game, that your level of your equipment really doesn't matter for them. Basically, they're going to take the same amount to kill no matter what. It started off in Zelda 2 with Karok, who needed 8 reflected spells, and then the Shadow of Link, which required 8 sword slashes. And it continues here with Blind, where it doesn't matter what level sword you have, or if you have the Cane of Samaria or whatever, it's going to take the same amount of hits no matter what. And I sort of like that sort of puzzle aspect to certain bosses like that. Blind, as I said, Blind, Shadow of Link, just different bosses that require you to do something a little bit different. Not necessarily quite a puzzle boss, because those exist too. If you play the Oracle games, there's Facade, where you different puzzle bosses. In Link's Awakening, there's one you have to throw the bombs into the red face that looks like a giant thwomp block, things like that. Trinex is kind of a puzzle boss himself. Yeah, he definitely is, and I sort of love that. That concept behind it, just the thought of a puzzle boss. Yeah, the dungeons are supposed to be puzzly, but I'm a fan of more like, okay, you've had a fairly easy dungeon, now you have this really, okay, there's the trick to beating this boss. I love that concept. So do I. Sometimes they're painful, sometimes they're confusing, and you lose a lot of game time, or real life time, trying to figure them out. I can't tell you how many times, or how long it took me to figure out as a child how to beat Trinex. I had no clue. Like, why isn't this working? Guys, guys. Yes? Not to interrupt, but we found the flute, which means it's imminent. Oh, that's fantastic. Imminent. You know what's imminent, guys. Get them ready. Get your swag ducks ready. Yep. Also, flute in Thieves Town is one of the best places to find it, because you can leave after you beat the dungeon, just mirror out, and then activate your duck. It's almost as good as getting it from the bottle vendor. Almost. Boy, I don't know what started us out on that trail, or on that line. Oh, I know what it was. Puzzle bosses. The fact that Blind, no matter what gear you have, it always takes 9 hits, 3 different phases of 3 hits from certain types of weapons. You can use the Cane of Brian, Samaria. You can use any sword at all. The hammer. The hammer as well. Yep. I think that's it. I think that's all you can use on him. Yeah, my favorite one, and this is something you're not going to necessarily see a lot of in this, but one of my favorite concepts is swordless. Because you can get here on swordless doing like open mode. That's definitely a fun thing. But this is something I've seen, and not something you're ever going to see unless have a very specific set of circumstances. But one of the things that has been, because this randomizer has taken off a whole new life of its own. There are so many different modifications and variations. People working with the developers to have different things. One of the ones that I've been watching a lot recently has been Entrance Shuffle, where Entrance Shuffle is hard. Right.
Enter Shuffle was fun though because certain things. And one of the things I saw, which was one of the best things I've ever seen, and the guy who did it is actually here in chat, and he can confirm that. And we have Insect Puns Bugging Blind there, which is awesome. Swordless Trinex.
It's not as hard as you think.
No, but it's one of the most amazing things I've seen.
Yep, it really steals the strats from low percent, low percent, no major glitches. It's just hit him with the hammer as much as you can, but it's a menu boss where you have to kind of switch between your rods and your hammer. I think one of the worst bosses in Swordless is Argus, because it's literally switching from hookshot to hammer for every puff or every 2 puffs. Very difficult fight.
1 puff, 2 puff, red puff, blue puff. But here's the question: are we running the shoot puff?
I don't know, but I'm gonna puff on my tobacco pipe, which before the race I told Greenleaf about this, and he had a good laugh. I actually have a tobacco pipe that's really big, and it has my face on the front of it, like carved into it. I made it when I was in my late teens. It's horrible. It's so ugly and awesome. But I noticed that chat was pointing out the lighter flicks as well. Don't worry, guys. I'm not burning myself alive. This race is too hyped for that.
Speaking of hype, though, we missed the entire song, but ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the duck you've all been waiting for has arrived on WillardJBradley's side of the stream. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, the swag duck.
I love him. I'm not singing. Don't even try. Don't even peer pressure me.
I'm not gonna lie, and I'm gonna fully admit and cop to this because I wanted to do something when it came to the swag duck theme, and I haven't had a chance to get around doing it. And there's so few races left. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. So I'm just gonna cop to the plan that I initially had as Willard picks up the fire rod here in the Sea House.
Let's hear it.
My initial plan for one of these for the swag duck anthem type of deal is I was going to try and find a way to get the swag duck anthem theme, but I was gonna rickroll everybody with it. I just couldn't figure out how to do it. So I'm gonna cop to that right now and say you guys are lucky that real life got in the way.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Like have a sound file to play.
Yeah, I was gonna have it queued up and ready to go and just click it and
That's fantastic. I actually had this idea, which I'm never gonna get to either. It's just a neat idea of having like a soundboard, or whatever those are called, where it's just different sound bites all together, and I can click on different ones. Because there's been some amazing reactions from commentary in this tournament. Just hilarious commentary sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of which, thanks for doing this with me. You're really taking the lead and taking the pressure off me, and I love it. I really appreciate it, Greenleaf. This is our first time doing this together.
This is. Awesome. I've had a lot of people I've worked together for the very first time doing this. I think the only person who, during this tournament, I've worked together before was Adirondack Rick. Aside from that, everybody else who I've worked in this tournament has been the first time. And Willard just released his special bee on the lumberjack tree.
I saw it.
And went and picked up his red cane.
Yeah, so I'm sure
and we're gonna get all the memes in here because by God, that's gotta be Kane. All the fun stuff happening here.
So many memes born from this tournament. And you are enjoying yourself the perfect amount. Yep. I'm not gonna say you're enjoying yourself too much. It's the perfect amount.
Hey, too much fun, what's that mean? It's like too much money ain't no such thing.
that rhyme, it hurt a little bit, but I like it.
That's actually an old country song.
Is it? That's probably why my soul was like, no, don't allow yourself to hear it.
Interesting here. Ben going over to Misery Mire, got to be checking. I'm assuming he's gonna be checking the medallion that he needs here.
Yeah,
and we
getting that info.
I didn't catch it. It was blurry.
Ooh, I didn't see it either. So he has the intel, but we do not. That's unfortunate. Did you guys check it? We'll leave it up to chat. Maybe they saw what it was.
Oh, no more banana hat. We got the red mail. I am disappointed.
It's okay. He has the red shield and the red sword. It makes out his outfit. It totally makes sense.
It kind of does. I mean, so chat was wondering the Kane reference. Basically, back in the day for WWF wrestling, there was a couple of characters, one of which was The Undertaker, who's probably one of the most famous wrestlers of all time. And throughout his feud with Shawn Michaels, who is another very famous wrestler, they kept talking about The Undertaker's brother, and they only referred to him as Kane. And then at the Bad Blood pay-per-view in, I believe, 1996, the Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker were having a match. And at the end of the match, Kane shows up, and no one had seen him before. So the announcer, Jim Ross, just yells out, "By God, that's gotta be Kane!" That's where that comes from.
That was, wow, you sounded just like him. That was really creepy.
By God, that Link had a family!
The southern twang that you put on it is perfect.
I live in Maine, which is the crazy part.
Yeah, I live in the Midwest, so I know what I'm talking about. You're putting the right twang on it. Wow. Kudos to you, sir.
Oh, was it McMahon? Oh, sorry. Sorry, it was Vince McMahon. My bad.
Oh, okay. So it's got to be a little bit deeper and very I come from money. That's what it's going to sound like now.
Yeah. Well, either way, we have got we've got Big Bertha's bomb being purchased by Ben here, and we're going to figure out what exactly the double-chested fairy has for us here tonight. Yeah,
something that I want to point out is I don't know if Willard knows the strat for it, but since he's already done Aghanim's Tower, he can actually do a bomb dupe and get there quite a bit faster. I think it's like 40, maybe a little bit more than 30 seconds faster to just drop the bomb and then mirror right in front of Hyrule Castle. Not sure if he's going to do it, but I do know that he's doing the dungeons, however, in opposite order. Ooh, it's getting close. I'm getting nervous. I had to stop talking.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, but the thing is, here's the thing: is Willard has the blue potion, so he's not worried about it. Unfortunately, our friend Big Bertha here doesn't have anything worth noting, so we're just going to sort of look at her in her fountain of depravity and be like, "Sorry, sweetheart, I don't feel like seeing you today, but thank you for the gifts you left me."
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of money and something else that was also garbage.
Bombs.
So, bombs, okay. So bombs are okay, but they have tons of ammo, both of these guys.
Yep. So Willard with Willard with a Mothula fight, not nearly as hype as Ben's Mothula fight.
No.
So
but still close. I mean, he didn't use that pot until he absolutely had to. He actually considered switching over to his cape too, and I was like, please don't do that. Thinking in my head, please don't switch to the cape. Sometimes it just doesn't activate when you tell it to. Not sometimes, like 90% of the time, it doesn't activate when you hit the Y button. So good on him for using the pot immediately. Yeah, he is out of healing items, though.
That is true. And hey, we see more Bunny as World gets hit by one of those Who's-a-What's-he yellow fairy, anti-fairy bunny turning into Who's-a-What thingies. And Ben,
you use the scientific term, which I actually prefer.
Exactly. We now are making our way into the Palace of Darkness here for Ben, paying money to the very hungry monkey Kiki. And Willard's going to be like, just a little love in my heart. Nah, it's a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, well, for us, it's not disappointing for him. He's like, oh, thank goodness. Well, he does have one pendant. He might have thought, hey, I've got one pendant. I'll have one up on Ben if he hasn't done that and we have to do this. But, there's a lot of race left. This has been not a trolley seed, but a bit bottlenecked. Considering.
Yeah, it's what we sort of were talking about at the beginning. It's not necessarily a trolley seed. It's just one of those. It's very linear, in a sense that it sort of led you in the right direction. Yeah, once you got your thing, your items that opened up everything, it sort of took you around. But it's still been very linear, all things considered. Because we're an hour into the seed, and we're not sitting here saying, "Oh my God, where is everything?" We're saying, "Wow, this is we've made a lot of progress, but we haven't made a lot of progress." If that makes a lot of sense.
It makes so much sense because it's not all the progress items at once and then missing one. It's not most of the progress items and then a couple scattered about. It's like one every once in a while. So it's a little bit slow moving, but at the same time doesn't give anybody too much of a lead, which I would give to Ben just a little bit right now.
I would absolutely give it to Ben. Ben has Fire Rod and Ice Rod. Willard does have Cane. So, I mean, the thing with that is Ben knows he has to go beat Aghanim. There's no two ways around that.
Yep, he has that. Ben has that dungeon on him, but not really all that much. Willard has that dungeon on him. Ben has a lot more overworld checked, but something that I noticed earlier was he left Death Mountain without completely clearing it. He did most of it, but he didn't do like Ether check. He didn't do Spike Cave. I think he did everything else on East Side though. I believe he did all of that. I don't remember seeing him. He probably did, which you guys, I'm sure, are going to correct me, but I don't think I saw him do Spiral Cave.
He did do Spiral Cave. I remember seeing Spiral Cave.
Okay. I'm sure you guys know that keeping track of two streams at once is a little bit more difficult than you think. Especially when excitement happens, like, that moth fight from Ben. Oh my goodness, I had no idea what Willard was doing.
Back up 2 streams, I just realized something. This is one of the few times I'll be able to get away with saying this here in order, because we have Ben and Willard. So we're going to count Ben as 1 and Willard as 2. We have 1 stream, 2 stream, red stream because the red tunic, and blue stream because the blue tunic. I am super happy about that right now.
And that's perfect. And Ben's his overlay is green because you're the green leaf effect. And this race has been okay because I'm the okay guy. It all makes so much sense.
It is. Everything's coming together right now.
Yeah. It's because Fiesel has transcended just a streamer. He is more than that. Speaking of which, shout outs to everybody behind the scenes that's helped put this on and keep it going. I think we broke chat too. They're all kind of grunting and sighing at us.
Oh no, this is normal when I'm here in the booth. Usually it's a bunch of, hey, that pun wasn't bad. Hey, that pun wasn't bad. Hey, there's the Bombos medallion in pod. Hey, Greenleaf, that's enough puns. Please stop what you're doing.
The fact that you slipped in that, hey, there's Bombos in pod. What?
That's just called a smooth transition, everybody. Just
yeah. I'm crying, so I can't see what's going on. I think Willard's checking. Oh, I didn't see it again. Chat said that it was Bombos.
I'm pretty sure it's Bombos here.
So, Ether is still evading both of these guys, or Ether, if you will. Whew. Good laugh. Thank you, sir. Man, both of these guys are rich too. Now that I think about it, really healthy, really rich seed. Along with being pretty bottlenecked, kind of linear. I mean, finding the pearl and the Titan's mitts early on, you'd think, oh well, that's not bottlenecked at all. They can do all kinds of stuff, but it still kind of is. Even knowing where Hammer was, I think one of the big reasons is because of 5 and 6 being where they were. Both of these guys thought, oh, I need to go do that right away, but obviously it didn't pay off, which we know.
Right, but no, it definitely made sense seeing as, Crystals 5 and 6 were Thieves Town and Skullwood, which, theoretically speaking are in theory the two easiest dungeons to get done in Dark World, simply because they're not necessarily overly long. They're not going to have a whole lot of requirements like Palace of Darknesses to go through the maze and do a lot of chest digging. They're fairly, they're shorter than anything else, really. I mean, Go Mode Ice Palace is really short. Go Mode Swamp Palace is really short.
Really short compared to...
But when you're looking for items, Thieves Town and Skullwoods are probably the two you want to do early, especially those being Crystals 5 and 6. That's awesome. Now we're going to see Helmasaur King over here on Ben's side, which is going to be interesting because we're going to have the whole Charger Sword, hammer it up, not a problem. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Kill this thing, not a problem. But oh yeah, we've got Silver Arrows, which means 1 shot, 1 kill, 1 dead dinosaur.
He might not even switch to his Silver Arrows because it's only 4 slashes with Tempered. Or, like a hammer and then a spin attack. Looks like he's going for the spin attack 2 slash. Yeah, really easy. Just tanking a hit, jumping into the dinosaur's hitbox. Oh my goodness. Just easy fight. Not quite as scary as that Mothula fight from earlier, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, the Mothula fight was great, as we have the chemical composite arrows here for Willard in the Hookshot Cave. The only thing of use here in this cave, aside from, falling to your death.
Now, what is Ben going to do now?
Well, he has... If I'm Ben, I go ahead and I kill Aghanim, get the Cane of Samaria, go over, finish up Misery Mire and Desert Palace, and then be on the hunt for the Ether Medallion.
Nice. Now, I don't think that... I mean, he might have. Has Ben done the Northern Dark World scavenging yet? Because he might be putting both the Cane of Samaria along with that, kind of coupling all those together.
More than likely, but he is going to Aghanim right now, which is,
gotta do that first.
With that's a thing, and Willard did just go ahead and pick up the rod of chilling beverages there in the Super Bunny chests.
Yep, the cold stick. I love the cold stick. It's my favorite magical relic. Oh boy, now this is what I mentioned earlier. If you put off, I mean, even though he knew, oh man, what am I talking about? Got interrupted by Ben getting beat up by that dagger guard there.
That was so funny. They were just chasing each other back and forth. That looked like an episode like Scooby-Doo where they're just running through the doors constantly. That's exactly what that looked like. Raggy.
Yep, just over and over. Now, he interrupted me with his foul up there because I was going to say he put off coming into Aghanim's tower to be overpowered, you know, with boots, red mail, and all this, and tempered sword and all this awesome stuff, where Willard had to kind of trudge through the dungeon, but then it didn't even matter what I was saying because he got beat up in the second room, or well, I guess third room. My goodness. Rut row indeed. Willard found his tempered sword. He has his full red gear. It's beautiful. I hope they don't find butter sword. Keep the red aesthetic going on.
Yeah, but then we can have the banana sword. I'm okay with that.
You just love potassium, don't you?
I might be, you know, a proponent for the power of potassium.
That's fantastic. I can't argue with that.
I find it rather appealing.
Oh yeah. Be careful, they don't slip on that pun.
There we go. Willard doing the bomb jump here over the 7-item caves. That's a very, very good bomb jump there for him. I have seen people mess that bomb jump up, requiring them to miss, you know, one cave, and, you know, missing that bomb jump can, you know, have a huge effect on everything.
It can, yeah. Completely crash your game. No, I'm joking. It actually can cost you, what, like 12 to 15 seconds every time you mess it up. I think messing it up once, it might still be faster to go up and do it again than going all the way around, but other than that one flub, Ben had a beautiful tower. If you guys were watching the left side there, he had a gorgeous circle of pots, like chain of rooms. The 2 red guards and then the 2, what are they?
We have got a spike cave being checked here by Willard. Interesting option to do spike cave. He has no, he does have the cape, like he has no item to do this, but he has cape.
Yeah, he has cape, and he's also, whoa, very close. He's
Cutting
also
it close, and
yeah, it didn't pay off, but he did.
Also, shoutouts to Ben for the boomerang strats in the back wall.
Very nice. Getting Aghanim over with, clinking away. I can't hear it that he's clinking, but I always love, you know, hearing the clink rhythm and doing it along with the music. Hitting Aghanim in the face with the boomerang before he grabs the wall. Grabbing the wall, I've heard that it saves 1 frame of lag frames during the lightning phase. So super strat there totally determines the race. Just joking. It's just something to do. A lot of games have strats like that where it's just something to do to save frames while you're waiting. Reminiscent of like arm pumping in Super Metroid. There's, you know, wall pumping and air pumping in A Link to the Past. It's really weird. I love speedrunners. Weird people.
Definitely some strange ones here.
I'm one of them, so I'm not like insulting them. I just we're all cut from a different kind of cloth.
Yep, but we're gonna go ahead and pick up the boisterously large super bomb. I was gonna try and make an alliteration with the letter B, but we'll just call it the super bomb. Nice.
Nice. The bulbous bomb.
I was gonna say Big Bertha's bulbous bomb, but yeah.
Ooh, there you go. Yeah. Bombastic.
Ooh, nice. We do have Ben there bunking into the lumberjack tree. Gonna go ahead and pick up his cane of Samaria. As Will going to be very, very. Oh!
That's unfortunate.
Sniped by the soldier.
He has plenty of money to buy another, but it's just a loss of time there. Wow.
That is
I didn't think he was that low on health.
I didn't either.
My goodness. It's unfortunate that it's happening, but I mean that's the time he was going to save from being able to use the Hyrule Castle, you know, warp. He's not doing the bomb dupe, but he is just, you know, mirroring and then warping back through in the entrance, the gate entrance. But man, you can tell the tilt too. He's missing his hammer dashes there. Went for it 3 times, couldn't get it, and just walked up to the peg. So he might be a little bit salty after that death. Keep your cool, Willard. He's got to keep his cool. Can't lose it, and because I mean that can cost you the race. The second you start getting a little bit tilted, you start making more and more mistakes. It's a slippery slope.
It is. And in chat there, the Cutsman, that's one of my favorite things. That Green Soldier killed Link, you're promoted to Blue Soldier now.
Yep. Here's a dagger. Attack anything that comes through the room. Just run straight at it.
Yep.
Are they pigs? I think the soldiers are pigs. Do you see pig faces? Because I do. I always did as a child, too.
I see dead is what I see.
You see dead? Oh, that might be it. They might be undead. Like, that makes sense, because like there's some kind of lore where when you make the Triforce wish, you bring everybody back to life, when really it's like just your uncle that dies, I think. I guess, and all the, you know, crystal maidens, of course. It's not really death, but I think it's a
beautiful
fake worse.
fight, just using the fire rod to completely obliterate the land molas there. Absolutely wonderful fight.
Yeah, great first cycle. Spin attack the first one, and then 5 fire rod shots to clean him up. It's about as good as you can get. It's cool that he didn't go with the silvers either. You know that he's a veteran, because he's like, you know what? I could kill him with 1 silver each, but I just know this strat better. I'm more seasoned with it, and that's what I'm going to do. And you can tell he's good at it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things that we had talked to Ben about in one of his previous interviews. Is he's like, yeah, I know all of these strats, you know, for the energy, or I know all of the low percent stuff, so I'm comfortable doing that. And that's one of those strats where you might not necessarily have, you won't have silver arrows for that set of land molas. There's just no way. So yeah, it makes more sense to do that, you know, because, you know, the spin / fire rod, that's something you'll use, you know, in the ascent version of the land molas, not necessarily the ones here, but to strat, you do it. You know, the devil you know better than the devil you don't.
Yep, it's one of those edges that speedrunners take into, you know, races, into tournaments like this. They might not be the best at randomizers, but they have all that tech, all that muscle memory, and a big thing with A Link to the Past is it's read and react, and if you have that consistency, you stick to it, because consistency leads to speed in this game. You know, 100%.
Oh, absolutely. That's one of the things that, you know, people will ask me all the time when it comes to randomizers, because I do a lot of commentary about them, is, you know, you've seen enough of these. What's the one thing you can give for advice? You know, I might not necessarily play all these because my execution is going to be poor. But the one thing I can say about all the randomizers I've seen, whether it's Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Zelda 3, Super Metroid, Pokemon, whichever one you want it to be, okay, when you're in a race setting, when you're in a 1v1 setting, it's the same as when you're doing it casually or whether you're doing it in a big race. Play the game that you play. Play the game you know how to play. Because by changing the way you play the game, it's going to adversely affect you. If you're normally someone who takes gambles when you play, keep doing that. If you don't take unnecessary gambles, don't take those gambles, because it's going to throw you off your game, as we have basically dueling big key gets, Misery Mire for Ben and Pod for Willard.
Really awesome big keys too. Yeah,
it's just one of those things where you need to be able to play the game you're comfortable with.
Yep. And everybody has a different style,
exactly.
And you have to stick to it. You know, myself, I'm a big overworld scavenger. I tend to stick around the overworld, checking all those locations before I jump into dungeons. And it costs me in a lot of races. Some races I come in, you know, last place because there's nothing in the overworld to be found. But then there are races where all the important items are in the overworld and I just dominate. And I don't change it up. You know, when I change it up, I start making mistakes and I start confusing myself, and it's just the worst thing that can happen, is confusing yourself and missing one spot because you don't stick to what you know.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to use another example. I was in a Zelda 1 randomizer race last night, and I am a huge riverboat gambler. I love to gamble on things. Like, I will go and I will do dungeons without weapons, without swords. I will do all of that. And the race last night, I gambled. I knew exactly what the item I needed was. It was the step ladder. I gambled on it not being required, and I went and full cleared the entire last dungeon, and oh, hey, look. The only time the ladder is required in this seed is to pass through one room to get to the silver arrows to kill Ganon.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But those kind of gambles can also make you dominate certain races and certain seeds. So it goes both ways. I totally get it.
Oh, absolutely. And the unfortunate thing for Ben here, early big key in Misery Mire is great, except when you're still item hunting, because then you have to go through. And Misery Mire is gigantic and only has 2 items in it, which is awful.
And I've said this a million times, you cannot route Misery Mire correctly. You either go left side first, clear out as much of it as you can, and then go downstairs to watch that long animation after the torches, and it can pay out nothing. Or you can backtrack, you know, through the main hub of the dungeon, and it pay off nothing, and have to go do the torches anyway. So there's no correct way to do this dungeon. I mean, you just have to get lucky. It's all about luck, which is kind of the thing with Randomizer, isn't it? You can be the best in the world and have bad luck, make bad decisions. But I mean, his execution's been clean. It's just the routing's not paying off. He found a small shield, which that's one of the 2 items in this huge abstract dungeon. I don't think he found the other one because he's still popping all the chests. Either that or he was looking for a small key.
And we have an interesting decision over here by Willard, opting to go right to Helmasaur and not do the Dark Maze, which is, you know, gonna come back and bite him because Dark Maze has Bombos.
Yeah, which he needs. Maybe he's just doing this because he's on that side of the dungeon, and then he's going to come back in and head up to the north side of the dungeon. Hopefully.
That could definitely be the possibility. I mean, you can't leave. There are 3 chests available there in Dark Maze, the 2 in the maze itself, plus the big chest proper. So you can't leave 3 chests, especially when you are still looking for items. Because, you know, Willard knows Bombos and Ether are both items he needs. And beautiful kill there with the silver arrow for Willard.
Yeah. Oh, maybe he's counting items and he only has 1 more item to find, because Dark Palace, or Palace of Darkness, does have 5 items, and Helmasaur King does have 1, but that can't be it now. So
no, we know there's at least 1 more item because we know Bombos is there.
Yeah, yeah. Just realized the failed logistics in my own head, but that could have been what, you know, could have been what he was thinking. No, he needs to go back in and find that Bombos medallion.
Yep, he's about facing pirouetting right back in. But Ben here going into his 6th boss fight here. But this is going to be fairly easy because Silver Arrow just machine gun every eyeball in this Jello mold.
Yep. It's one of my favorite parts of the Swordless run that I've been running for about 9 months is Silver Arrows and the Vitreous fight. It's so fun. This is before Randomizer was really a thing. I mean, technically it was, but I wasn't really a big part of it before 2.2. Having Silver Arrows in this fight is so much fun. Oh my goodness. And you guys see why. Just completely mows down the eyeballs. Lots of eyeballs in this game.
Yeah, see, I'm not the only one who's noticed that. I brought that up in several commentaries that all the bosses in this have an eyeball theme.
It's a thing across all Zelda games, I think. I mean, most Zelda games have some eyeball boss or some eyeball theme. Very creepy. But Illuminati confirmed.
Yeah, but you know, there's only normally 1 or maybe 2. In this game, take a look at the things with creepy eyeballs. You've got Moldorm. Moldorm has creepy eyeballs. Mini Moldorms have creepy eyeballs. Helmasaur King has the giant eyeballs. Argus is a giant floating eyeball. Coltier is a giant floating eyeball. Victorious is a giant floating eyeball.
Yep.
Mothula has eyeball patterns on its wings.
Yep, there's the Dark World dungeon floors, which are skulls that have significant eyeballs. I mean, you can see them right now on Willard's screen. Lots of eyeballs. I actually use them to bomb jump. It's my visual cue. What else? There's eyeballs on the walls in some places. No one though. I was gonna say the fortune teller, but no, that's an eyeball, isn't it? With hands on either side. Ganon has eyeballs. Thank you, DT, for that astute observation. You're the man, DT. Oh, hey, there's some more eyeballs at the entrance of Tower of Hero.
So we did. Chat was yelling at us, and we did forget the fact that Dark Maze also had the bug net.
Oh yeah, so he definitely wasn't counting items. Oh man.
So Ben now going to do Tower of Hera, not Hera, which is an interesting call because now we are on the hunt for Ether, or Ether, depending on how you want to pronounce it. I still pronounce it Ether. Actually, I switch between Ether and Ether depending on my mood. I'll be 100% honest with you.
Yep. I don't mind which one you say as long as you never say Hour of Terra again. That's hilarious.
Wait, did I say that?
It's what it sounded like to me. The Hour of Terror.
Oh,
fantastic dungeon. It's my favorite, actually.
The Hollywood Tower Hotel, the Tower of Terror.
That's right. Yeah, it's unfortunate that he's going through this dungeon looking for something we know is not here, but it makes sense also. Everybody that's saying, you know, oh, he shouldn't be here. No, this totally makes sense. This is a very short dungeon, and with his gear, he can clear it really, really fast. All of the Light World dungeons, maybe not Eastern as much, because it's a little bit longer, a little bit more backtracky. You know, Desert and Hera, definitely worth checking if you're looking for an item, even if they're pendants. Getting trolled a little bit by Troll Dome there, though. Getting bounced back up on the ledge. Quick work of him, wow. Beautiful fight.
And there it is. We have more B.
Yeah. So many bottled bugs. Because bees.
So this seed brought to you by the Hyrulean Anthropology Department.
Yeah. Yeah, today's letter is B.
Quick, put him back in!
Oh, I wanted to do a Nicolas Cage impression, but I'm not going to put you guys through that, so I didn't.
Oh, come on, do it. You know
no.
you want to.
Well, I'm also not.
Want to.
I know I want to, but I'm also not used to this microphone, and screaming into it might break chat. So
True.
Probably shouldn't. And you know, my neighbors might call the cops if I start screaming about bees in my eyes. I'll find an audio clip for you guys and play that. I'm sure that'll suffice. No, I'm not really going to do that. Oh, Willard, I wonder if he's going to go ahead and go into Misery Mire as well. It makes sense.
No, absolutely. This is the same path we saw Ben doing earlier. He's going to go into Misery Mire, finish that up, and then go ahead and do Desert Palace. Now, at this point, as I said, or as we were saying earlier, Willard still has the two crystals he's going to get. Mire's going to take him a bit, and Desert's going to be fairly easy. Mm-hmm. Ben, on the other hand, is on the hunt. We are one item away from Go mode here, as we had determined. It is the Ether Medallion. Ether Medallion is required to get into Turtle Rock. There are very few places left the Ether Medallion could be. Now, if it's me, I believe Swamp Palace is the green pendant, so I'd be doing Swamp Palace in hopes of one of the 6 items here is that, and technically you get a 7th item with Sahasrara and the green pendant.
Yep. If I were to guess, I see Ben going into Swamp and then doing the north half first, where you get that small key and then just go straight past the big chest. Well, I guess you do the southern room first, and then you go straight past the big chest and check those 3 items on the way to Argus. And then if you have to backtrack from there. But those are really quick chests to check. So many tongue twisters, my goodness. I think that it might be in this dungeon. It very well could be. A lot of items here.
It would be the best place for it to be, though, honestly, for, you know, as we said, we like our Schadenfreude here, or at least I like my Schadenfreude here. I want it to be a Sahasrara item, just because the green pendant is the best possible location it could be. Or because, actually, let me rephrase that. There's the powder. Powder could be the link to it, too. A link to the Batman.
A link to the Batman, that's right. And if he were to leave and go and check Batcave right now, he would have to do that whole animation of letting out the deluge and all that, and that's just not worth it. So he could do this entire dungeon and then go check Batcave and find out, oh, I just wasted 8 minutes, giving Willard plenty of time to check.
Yeah. At this point, to me though, considering that both runners are probably going to logically go ahead and check Swamp Palace first because green pendant 6 items. The trolliest place for it to be, and it would effectively give us a pseudo pedestal seed, is if Cold Stare has it.
Yeah. See, now it's a long shot, but it's not out of the question for that last medallion to be in Ice Palace somewhere. So many people avoid Ice Palace too. Even if it's a crystal, they put it off till last or close to last. And it's not as long as people think. Especially if you practice it and you get used to it. It's a lot easier of a dungeon to full clear than people, give it credit for. Especially with Hookshot, Cane of Samaria. Both of those break the dungeon without the bomb jump. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping.
Never mind. Oh. There it is. Swamp Palace had Ether. Go mode confirmed, everybody.
I'm hoping it's in the next chest that he checks. Oh, look at that. I was right again. All right. Go me. I was gonna say I hope it's deep in the dungeon or an Ice Palace for Willard, but that's.
Look, all I'm going to say about your prediction skills is they're pretty okay.
They are okay. Thank you. Thank you for being so green about it.
It's not easy being green.
It's not easy being okay either. It's really not. Because I'm awesome. It's hard to be okay. That was like reverse humility.
That's called ego when we love every minute of it here. But what we're going to be calling now is calling Ben making his way back up to Death Mountain to get inside Turtle Rock, which we are effectively in find the big key and get the heck on out of dodge mode.
I'm saying that Willard has to hope for something amazing to happen here. Depending on his choices after this fight, especially. Man, if Ben would have left with that powder, it would have really cost him a lot of time. I'm glad he didn't. I hope Willard doesn't, if he stands any chance of winning his first round. This is the first round for anybody that's just tuning in. If they don't see the wins up at the top there, those are correct. This is game 1, and it looks like Ben's going to take it. He has a significant lead. Anything can happen still. I don't mean to be negative Nancy, but, so anything can happen. It's just with his execution and him being as seasoned of a veteran as he is, I don't see a death to Ganon or a fall, or what's really bad is like a death or running out of magic to a Trinex here in Turtle Rock. That'd be really, really time consuming. Great fight from Willard.
That would be absolutely horrible. And then we have seen people running out of magic cost a race before. I believe it was one fire rod shot too short on Cold Stare.
Yep, that's all it takes. Especially if you're somebody like Ben who is not going to take the safety door at Laser Skip Room. He will not take that. I mean, unless he's like down to 2 hearts or something, he might. But I just don't see it happening. So if he's to run out of magic or die, it's just enough for Willard to catch up and maybe pass him. Let's not hope anything negative on anybody, though. Of course. I mean, I'm still rooting for Willard. I can't help it.
I already said I'm firmly on Team Banana.
Yeah, bananas. Bananas.
Yep.
Potassium, if you say so.
Hey, the power of potassium compels you.
It actually does. It's really good for you.
It is.
That was a literal statement.
I kid you not, I just went shopping yesterday and I was in the mood for a fruit salad, so I bought a bunch of stuff for a fruit salad, including 3 pounds of bananas, and then made the fruit salad. The bowl was so full that I still have the bundle of 3 pounds of bananas because I didn't have a way to put them in the bowl for the fruit salad.
Holy moly.
So if anyone wants bananas, I have plenty of them.
I think you're going to get some inbox messages. Because who doesn't love fruit?
Yes, slide right on up in my DMs, baby.
Make a fruit hat. Chat's telling you to do. He doesn't need to do that. As good as it would look. Now, see, look what Willard's doing. He's doing what I was saying earlier. The whole getting items, going to the left side, and then backtracking with the keys to clear the main hub of the dungeon, and then being forced downstairs into the basement. You can't route this dungeon correctly. Misery Mire is just a pain in the butt if you're searching for an item.
Is Misery Mire the most appropriately named dungeon?
It is whenever you live in Missouri, like I do. So Misery Mire just makes all the senses.
Fair enough. Over Missouri Mire, all that. No, the best mistake I've made when it comes to dungeons, and Adirondack Rick, I know you're in the chat here, so I apologize for this. I was watching someone the other day, and I mistyped. Instead of Turtle Rock, we had Turtle Rick.
Yeah, at Iron Turtle Rick.
Yep.
Yep, that's like his name isn't hard enough to pronounce in the first place. I just call him Adiron, and everybody's like, why don't you call him Rick? I was like, oh, wait, that makes sense. Nope, I'm going to call him Adiron. I don't care.
Adiron, I like that.
Yeah, it sounds good. It sounds cool. Willard really knowing his stuff. This is really good. Like, that's a hard portal to make to get into the second half of Desert without, like, getting, being on a rock when you come into the light world. He knew exactly where to mirror. Really good on him. Looks like Ben's, about 1 3/4 dungeon ahead of Willard?
Yeah, because Willard has basically the third of, a little bit more than that actually. He's the third of Desert Palace to go. Basically, just got to kill the Land Mollusk. Then he has to go and find the Ether, which thankfully is in that southern room in Swamp Palace.
Yep.
But yeah, so as we said, not to take anything away from Willard, because the execution here has been great. Just the Find the Ether Medallion game did not play nicely in the sandbox, but with someone who, again, this far into the tournament, it's going to take something of catastrophic levels to cause a comeback from this far back.
Yep. Even a Ganon death or fall probably wouldn't even them out, unfortunately. It would take like a game crash or something. Not that I hope that on anybody, it's just that's what it would take at this point. As some save file loss. Hey, there's a single arrow.
Hey, validation arrow, we're all set.
For anybody that's just tuning in, that's wondering what happened, what caused this significant lead for Ben, is he actually went into the Dark World really, really early, whereas Willard went and cleared out like Aghanim's Tower, and it just didn't pay off. I mean, they both had to do it for the Cane of Samaria at the Anxiety Tree at the Lumberjacks. However, the pyramid just had like the regular power glove after finding Titan's Mitts, so it was not a huge payoff to do it as early as he did.
Also, can we just point out the awesome Samaria dash that Ben just did there?
Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful, classic no major glitches strat that just worked really well. I think he also went for the Brawling Block Blast, but didn't quite get it.
Oh no, Willard's going to Ice Palace.
This is unfortunate, but it's also a gamble that he knows if it were to pay off would give him an edge on a very stout opponent. So you can't blame him for taking this kind of a gamble. Unfortunately, we know as spectators, it's not going to pay off, but hey, as spectators, we get to see a little bit more gameplay, so kudos on him for that.
Alrighty, as we mentioned earlier at the very beginning of this stream, this is an interactive chat stream. So, ladies and gentlemen, here in the chat, there are 22 options of where the big key is going to be in Ganon's Tower. So you have options between chest number 1 and chest number 22, with traditionally number 3 being the tower that you bonk off that would normally kill Bob. So get your guesses in right now. I am 100% always go with 16, which traditional routing says is the second chest after the Armos Knights, if you do left side. But yeah, I've got my chest counted out. But yeah, 16 is the number I always go with. What are we going with over here on your side?
I always go with the same thing too. It's kind of, tradition. I always hope for 1 and 2. It's always my vote. I say I get 2 votes because I'm awesome, but it's also because it's either the small key to the big key or the big key and then the small key on the right side. Those 2 chests having all you need to go upstairs. I always hope that for every racer, even if they're my opponent. It's just the best, it's, hey, we don't have to see any of east or west side Ganon Tower. Let's just go straight upstairs. It's really nice.
Fair enough.
I like that yours is after another one of the refights, though. I do like that.
Yeah, but if you do the traditional path where you go chest 1, chest 2, chest number 16, assuming you go left side after these 2 chests here on the right side. Hey, there's a number 2, big key. We still got to go get.
Nice.
We still have to go get the small key because you need it for the ascent here. But number 2, so I will give you credit. You did say number 2.
High five.
So we have got a winner right here in the booth with me here, everybody.
Nice. See, I called it. I always do. And Ad Iron was trying to tell me that I'm not awesome. I'm okay. Well, I'm telling you now, I'm awesome. Okay.
No, you're not, dude. Don't lie.
I'm awesome, okay?
Riding in your mom's ride? Yeah, I went there. I just broke some spos out on everybody.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, I shouldn't try to fight fire with fire, especially with Greenleaf. It was not effective. We're not doing
Actually,
Pokemon.
Fire is super effective. I'm a grass type.
I know, but I was gonna say this isn't Pokemon, people. That's beautiful mimics there from Ben. So yeah, he gets the big key right off the get-go. Goes and gets his small key for free there under the pot in the like spinning bumper room, spinning weird conveyor belt room. Beautiful for him. Willard's gonna see right away that holy moly, that dot done, where he has kind of a full or well, if you count G Tower, 2 full dungeons and a search of early swamp to get into his go mode. It's unfortunate for him, but he's not out of it yet, guys. He does get a second game for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I understand where Willard's doing this here because he knows traditionally, just looking at everything, Ben's going to check swamp first. So this is one of those gambles where it's changing your routing ever so slightly.
Yep.
And I was talking earlier about not changing your game. This isn't really changing your game because, assuming it's not in swamp, you're going to come here anyway. This is one of those gambles that I really, really like because if it works out, hey, there's the shovel, that's going to lead him to horrible places. If it actually works out, it's going to be a thing. And this is one of those gambles that, I like. And he's been counting items here, so he doesn't need it anymore. And do want to point out, Ben with an absolutely glorious gauntlet there in Ganon's Tower.
I was going to totally let you finish rambling and point out if anybody didn't catch that, they need to go back and watch the VOD because that's how you do the gauntlet. That is really impressive. And he's still not done. Like, he's still on point. A guy like Ben is just on autopilot at this point. Once he heads upstairs in G Tower, he's just probably shutting off his brain and kicking a lot of butt. naturally. Like,
shovel dash! Willard with the shovel dash. He's gonna be rewarded with the butter sword at least.
That's pretty cool that it paid off in some way. At least he gets to have, you know, an enjoyable end game, even though he's about to find out that he did not win this this first tournament match. But at least he can enjoy himself throughout the last of it with that gold sword.
Yeah, that is true. And shoutouts for the awesomeness that is the shovel dash there. And I do want to point out that for those of you who are looking for more Link to the Past randomizer coming up here, thanks to @IronBot, as you can see there, he is letting us know where all of the races are going to be. We have another one coming up here at 9 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be in 6 hours and 20 minutes. That is going to be ACMLM versus Wolfie. And then we're going to have match 2 about this one, WillardJBradley versus ajneb174. Game 2 tomorrow, same time, same channel.
That's right. And for anybody that's wondering, hey, Wolfie versus ACMLM, is that going to be any good? Yes. Wolfie has been a monster in this tournament, and I actually didn't know about him until the tournament. And, I mean, he's put away some amazing runners. ACMLM, however, is #1 by default. You guys can't argue. It's kind of a thing with the community. He's just #1. It's because he is a robot. He's
also,
not a human.
Speaking of not human, Ben isn't human. He skipped the validation chest.
That's right, he did. Thank you. Thank you.
No, for those of you who are wondering, it's just a running joke at this point that checking that chest makes everything all better. There's really no point in that other than just us having fun as sort of the Link to the Past randomizer community. We like to joke that that chest is the validation chest. That checking it means your run is good. There is no, right or wrong way to do it. It's fun. It's just one of those, fun little things we like to do. No big deal. However, ajneb174 is a little bit of a big deal, trolling Ben ever so slightly. I believe it was a 4 cycle, which is not something you see a whole lot of here. But definitely
not from Ben, especially.
Not from Ben, no.
Yeah, it was. He had a triple right off the get-go, and I thought he was going to get double triples, but then he just kept getting bad patterns, so he was only getting like 1 hit from each time. It might have actually been 2, and then no. Chat's confirming that it was a 4 cycle. So yeah, bad patterns can do that to you. It's not. What is that considered? It's not trigonometry. What is that? It's.
What, algebra?
No. The angles. What is that considered?
Geometry.
Is it geometry, though?
Geometry is the study of shapes and angles, yeah.
See, I always think geo and think earth, and I can't help it. It's just kind of one of those things that are in my head. Everybody's saying that you're right, so you got to be wrong. I'm sure I'm correct about it.
Chat's at the point now as we see Ben doing a fairly good first couple of cycles here for Ganon. Chat's at the point where they want me to be wrong no matter what. So if they're saying I'm right, I pretty much have to be 100% spot on correct.
Geodude. It's Geodude. They're right. We're both wrong. It's totally Geodude.
It's definitely right.
This has been a by the numbers, by the books, beautiful Ganon fight. I can't. Like, the first 2 cycles were really, really nice.
Oh, didn't quite get the triple there, but that's just, wow.
It's almost it's like a frame-perfect trick to get the triple. Like, you have to fire your bow on the first frame possible after every arrow that plugs Ganon. So, good game to him, man. Crazy good time.
Yeah, that's absolutely incredible.
Speaking of incredible, Willard is on his way up to do his second to last dungeon. Technically his last dungeon before G-Tower, but I always consider that a dungeon in and of itself. Ben did finish, Ajneb, if you guys are wondering who Ben is. Ajneb finished with an official time of 1:37.45. That's brilliant considering how linear and kind of bottlenecked early game was. His choices were on point. Going into Dark World early, finding the hook shot and boots when he did, just really paid off in the end. Let's see here. Seeing if he wants to come in and talk to us.
I mean, I wouldn't blame him if he didn't. I mean, I don't want to talk to me either, but...
Oh, of course. Of course.
Yeah, we do have Willard going ahead and causing the turtle to open its mouth by freezing it.
All right.
Also, I want to point out that this is kind of hilarious, and you know how sometimes when you have all your stuff set up on your computer, as Willard forgets to make his can of Mario block. Yeah, you have things set up on your computer, and you forget that they're on sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had forgotten that I had my OBS Studio still up, and even though with OBS Studio, even if you're not on, it still has your previews up. Well, I'm not sure who it was, so thank you for whoever it was who clicked the follow button on my name, but it triggered my follower alert and scared the crap out of me.
Make you jump about 10 feet in the air.
Yes.
I didn't hear it on my end, so at least that's a positive that came out of you getting scared at your own shadow there. I mean, kind of.
No, I've got it set. I do have it set up that right now my it's not going to trigger desktop sound. It's just literally going to Discord's just literally going to get my microphone right now, but it scared the crap out of me.
You actually kind of went silent there for a little bit, so I was curious.
That's why, because I'm sitting there, and for those of you wondering, my follower is just literally banana from Donkey Kong Country. That's all it was. All the banana love here, right? And it just scared the crap out of me.
Great way to finish out a race. I don't know if Ben's coming in or not. Let's find out. Well, we'll know shortly, guys. So everybody enjoy what Willard's doing here. He's taking a lot of damage early on in T-Rock. Taking the traditional, again, taking a lot of damage. Getting hit by those chain chomps there. I wish the chain chomps were in more of the game, don't you?
Yeah, it's nice because, this is one of the few Zelda games that actually does have those direct references to Mario. Link's Awakening being the other one where you go downstairs, you see the Goombas, and there's all that fun stuff. Yeah, I do like it, when especially games like the two most iconic Nintendo franchises are Mario and Zelda. Sorry, Metroid fans, that's probably going to be number 3. But the two most iconic Nintendo franchises are Mario and Zelda. And I love seeing that little sort of tongue-in-cheek nods to them, especially like with Link's Awakening. Please take Bow Wow for a walk.
Yeah, I think all the handheld Zelda games were really good about the homages because of what's Mario 2's enemy, Wart, I think, the boss. Yeah, he was one of the guys that you had to play the song for, or you had to do the little dance for.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the thing about Mario 2 though is the Mario 2 that we got here is completely different from the Mario 2 they got in Japan.
True.
Because the Mario 2 that we got here with Wart as the final boss was simply a reskin of the game Doki Doki Panic.
Yep, it was complete ripoff, and then pushed as our Mario 2. Well, I still loved it. It's still Mario 2 to me, especially that iconic music. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Some of my favorite Mario music of all time. But yeah, it's not exactly a Mario game to them. To us, it is. It's weird. Weird how things happen like that. Trying to think of all the Mario nods in A Link to the Past. There's the Mario painting. And then,
in addition to the chain chomps here in Turtle Rock, the 4-tiered enemies, the Pokies, are also a reference.
Yeah, they definitely look like Pokies from Super Mario World and I think a couple other games that have the cactus in them. They have a weird name, though. Does anybody know the name of the cactus monsters from A Link to the Past? It's a really weird name. I can never remember it. Probably do a quick search.
Probably can, but one real other thing we want to get going here as Willard is continuing his way through Turtle Rock. Ladies and gentlemen, please get your count in for number of bonks on Ben's side.
Yep. Speaking of Ben, he is in here with us, I think, ready to get pulled in. So let's say hello to him. Hello, Ben. How is it going, dude? Good game. Congratulations on your first match.
Thank you. Thank you. It's going pretty well now.
Now? What's wrong? What were you worried about?
Everything. I mean, early swamp can always happen because it has a lot of items. And that was kind of the only annoying item. I feel Ito was really the one out of the way. Everything else was pretty good.
Ether was kind of a pain to get to. Do you want to know what Willard did? Why he's so far behind you?
Well, he told me in IRC he did the gamble to ice.
Yep. Which, against somebody like you, it makes sense. Because if it would have been there, he would have definitely pulled a fast one on you.
I mean, it's not a bad shot at all. I think it was a green pendant or so. I don't remember.
I think the dungeon you went into, the swamp. I think swamp was the green.
I didn't pay
Might be wrong.
attention to
Also.
that at all.
Yep. Great execution. Your G tower was. I made the joke that you probably went into autopilot and just destroyed that dungeon.
Well, yeah, kinda. It was pretty good, except Mordorm.
Oh, your Moldorm was well. It wasn't that bad. I don't think you didn't get knocked down, did you?
Yeah, no, it was close.
Oh, that's right. You got caught up in the corner with your sword out, and he just wouldn't leave you alone.
Yeah.
Congratulations again, man. So, I mean,
Thanks.
other than that one little bit of foul up with him going to Ice Palace, you also went into Dark World a lot earlier than he did. He went straight to Aga Tower, you know, pre-boots and stuff, where you found the hookshot and boots really early.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't miss. I mean, it's obviously required, but then I was waiting. I mean, it's just for Maya and Totorock. I have no idea if I need them yet, so I don't really want to do it early. I mean, I had no boots at the time, just Master Sword. So I don't think it was needed to do it early. I mean, when I came back, I had Silver Arrows, boots, tempered, so it was pretty fast to do.
Ooh. Looks like Willard's having a little bit of trouble. Sorry to cut you off. He's just having trouble with the.
Trinex taking a bite out of Willard here. Having issues. Missed like 4 ice rod shots there. That is not, you know, that's pretty bad. And more on the lines of he didn't take the safety cave of walking out, so he's gonna have to start from yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, fade.
Oh man, it looks like Willard maybe
It's fine.
quit a little bit early there. Then he was like, "Well, wait, can I finish out?" I'm letting him know for entertainment purposes. If he wants to finish out, he can. If he doesn't want to, we totally understand. It's nothing, you know. It's no hard feelings at all. Man, it's unfortunate when that happens. Might have been a little bit of tilt from his gamble going bad. Actually, I think his tilt might have started way earlier when he was doing the big bomb. He got hit by a green guard or a blue guard, I think, and just instantly died on his way to take the big bomb.
Yeah, green guard that got leveled up to blue guard afterwards.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. So we are getting confirmation from Feasel. He did not quit or not forfeit in his frustration, and then was like, "Wait, no, I don't want to forfeit. What am I doing?" So yeah, he's got to go ahead and finish out.
Nice.
Great sportsmanship from him. Either way, you know, either way, I totally understand. Back to you guys though. Greenleaf, you have any questions for our winner of this first match here?
No, the one that I had was already answered. It was about the early Dark World routing, but that was already answered. That was the big one I had.
Yeah, it paid off so well. Whoa, Willard showing me something that I didn't even know about. That full magic there in the dark room platform maze. I didn't know there was a full magic heal there. I knew there was one early in the dungeon, or a bunch early in the dungeon, I should say. That's
nice.
Yeah, really good vanilla gaming information, like knowledge that I didn't even know about myself. Probably not since I was, you know, 1 digit year old, or, you know, a little okay guy. Ben, how are you feeling about your next race? Are you pumped up for it? Because Willard can definitely pull a fast one on you. You have to stay on your toes when it comes to these.
I mean, it can already go for everybody in Rondo, so yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, we have maybe 2 races tomorrow. It really depends on the second one. We'll see how it goes.
Speaking of seconds, Willard just came into the Trinex fight and 1-cycled it, or 0-cycled it technically. That was amazing.
Wait, where did he got better sword?
He found the shovel in Ice Palace and then dug up the butter sword.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
That was really good. Also, I just wanted everybody to know, Fiesel just let us know in the Discord. After this is over, we do have Majora's Mask coming up next, so stick around for more Zelda action. We're I mean, we're definitely gonna watch Willard finish this up first because it looks like he's determined, considering how that boss fight just went.
Yeah, that boss fight is more like, you got me once. Now you're gonna feel the wrath of what happens, and Trinex just sort of like, yeah. You walk into that boss fight, Link walked into that boss fight, sword drawn, and Trinex sort of looked at him like, I've made a horrible mistake.
Yeah, we're gonna rename him Zero Nex. Otnex, I think, would make sense. Ot instead of try. I don't know. Don't listen to me. I don't know words. Great skill to have when you're doing commentary. That banana is floating around and it's making me nervous.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Don't do anything bad.
So throughout this tournament, or throughout the bracket stage anyway, have you been pushed to a lot of third games already, or have you been pretty secure? Good at securing your matches.
I've lost my first match against Amazing Ampharos, and
AA is good.
Yeah, he is pretty good. And that was the only third match I've got so far. Nice.
So you have been putting them away one after the other.
But I lost a match in groups against Kanzion.
another just god gamer. You can just pick up any video game and beat people at it, even when we're speedrunners of that specific game. Kanzion's hard to race in anything. I'm just curious. This is like me asking you personally. How long have you been running A Link to the Past, even the vanilla?
Wow, that was actually my first speed game. I think I started it 4 years ago.
Wow.
Kinda took some pretty big breaks. I think I didn't play the game for 2 years at some point, so then I came back at AGDQ last time, then I stopped for 6 months, then Rando 20 happened, so kinda came back a bit to it.
Well, you didn't lose your muscle memory, it's still there. I mean, 4 years of playing a game can definitely do that for you.
I'm already used to the game, I think. I know a lot of it. But yeah, Rando is something else.
It's a different beast for sure. Something that Greenleaf mentioned a couple times during this race is something that you had talked about, how your muscle memory and your like low percent strategies and tech and all that stuff, it's one of your strengths, and you love whenever a seed plays out, forcing your opponents to think on your feet, where you're already seasoned. You can already do all that stuff. So having a low grade sword, fighter sword or master sword throughout most of the game gives you a huge advantage. Doesn't happen much in this logic though.
No, it kind of never happen even. You have pretty often tempered or even butter in Kakariko. So
happens a lot. Red Mill and Butter Sword and Mirror Shield coming out of CAC happens a lot. Here's to hoping for new logic, though. I mean, at least for the next tournament that comes around, I'm sure you're going to join in on that as well.
Yeah, most likely. I'm sure it will change there will be a new rule about that, I think. Most likely.
Yeah, where the devs and the organizers can, do whatever they want. Change the logic as well.
Every
we're not
round
doing Rando anymore.
you have to change.
Vanilla.
Oh, what is that?
I don't know. I'm just rambling. So yeah, congratulations again, man. It's really awesome. Great execution, and I'm excited to see your guys' match tomorrow. Anything you want to close out for us before we get back here to Willard? He just knocked out a bunch of G Tower, like he's flying through it.
No, I don't really have anything to say. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for commentaries. Thanks for restream. Thanks so much.
Yeah, for real.
Good. And yeah, I'm gonna let you finish the commentaries on Willard.
Yep, we got a race later, man. Good game again.
Thank you. See you, everyone.
Later, man. Wow, that's Ajneb for everybody, also known as Ben in the community. Give that guy a follow. Give Willard a follow. These guys have more randomizer to show you, I'm sure. Their match is going to be... is it at the same time tomorrow, Greenleaf?
1 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, right here on Speed Gaming. And if I'm correct in my assumption, tomorrow's commentary team is going to be High A and Gamer Cow.
Oh, really hyped for that.
Yeah, you think I get hyped? High A gets more hyped than I do.
Yeah, he He has to mute himself because he hollers and screams and cries and laughs, and he is a very emotional guy, and I love him.
Oh yeah, no, I've done commentary with High A. It was super late night commentary, and it was like,
I was tired starting this, and now I'm just like he's like a shot of caffeine.
He is, yeah. It's like he's not just super.
We're getting the Quake chest.
Oh my God, yes,
Quake chest.
and he opened it, so validated. Sorry, Ben. We got to take that win from you. Sorry about it. I love jumping up in the air and just stabbing your sword into the chest. It's so awesome. It's my favorite animation in the game. It really is. So
I do
cool.
agree. Yeah.
It's the only like animation that's kind of a nod to Zelda 2. You know, the down
The
stab.
down stab, yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. If only you could down stab in A Link to the Past, that'd be. Oh my goodness! Give me the Rock's Feather. Anyway, really, really humble guy, Ben. You guys, have you ever heard of somebody that humble about a victory? Like, yep, that was cool. I totally won. It was fun. It's so cool.
No, yeah, and Ben is super, super fun to watch. I mean, if you haven't done so already, make sure you give both of our runners, Willard and Ben, a follow here. Exclamation point runners in the chat will get you that information. But as we said, Willard does a lot of these randomizer things. Ben, in addition to doing Link to the Past, randomizers, and all that, I was actually sitting there watching him the other day do a Final Fantasy VII all bosses run. Now, that game is super RNG heavy as well. So anyone who can be that calm, that humble, and do games that are this RNG dependent, good for them.
Yeah, definitely worth your guys' follows. Ooh, let's see how this Ganon fight goes. I'm excited. Willard's been putting in a lot of time on late game. He's also been putting a lot of time in on his Super Mario Kart races, but let's see if those pay off here. 4 hearts makes me nervous. Oh, it makes me so nervous.
Yeah, I can see that, but using the iframes on the hookshot, that was actually a trick I had never seen before, was the hookshot iframes trick.
Yeah, it comes in handy in so many different ways. I mean, especially because you already have it equipped after Moldorm 2, you know, so you already have it equipped, you save a menu, and it's probably the most useful item, or the most useful equipment to use during the beginning of the Ganon fight. I mean, if you have like half magic, quarter magic, you can pull out the cape and just make a joke out of Ganon, which I never did as a kid. I don't know why I never thought of doing that. Like, as a child, I had that gear. I just thought Ganon was the hardest fight ever. Of course, I didn't know about, I didn't know about half magic back then. I thought that it actually cursed me.
Yeah.
I was like 6. Come on, you know. Or 6 or 7 or something, and it wasn't until I had the player guide I was like, oh, it's not really a curse. That's sarcasm. My bad. Or not really sarcasm. It doesn't matter. Yo, look at this.
Bat thinks it's a curse, but anyway, we're gonna go ahead and finish up, and does manage to do the elusive. It is a sub 2 hour, so we're good. Sub 2 hour.
Yeah, official time 1:57:16. Wait, official time? How did he get? Oh, cool. He got undone from the forfeit. Cool. Good job, Fiesel. Thank you for getting him back into it for the official time. Considering the T-Rock death, which I wasn't hoping would happen to Ben, but I kind of said that's the only way that Willard would catch up, I think I might have cursed Willard with his Trinex death. That's weird.
So what we're saying is I'm normally the one who gets blamed, but we can blame you this time?
Oh, you can always blame me. Burn the witch, right? Right.
Burn the witch and blame TGE.
All right, let's get Willard in here to discuss what happened, and then we'll get you guys on to some Majora's Mask afterwards. Yep, looks like he's in here already. Willard. He just comes in laughing. Okay.
I think we broke him, everybody.
Yep. WillardJBradley. How are you doing, sir?
Dude, I'm doing great. That was... that was funny. I try next.
We don't have a lot of time to talk, but I have to get these questions out. What were you thinking when you saw that dot done? I mean, you kind of talked in the IRC a little bit.
It was a 50-50. So I'm like, all right, who's going to win the 50-50? Though I'm sure he was way ahead of me because... Did he do everything? Like, because I feel like I did too much overworld this time.
He did the overworld before you did. See, he went to Dark World way earlier. While you were going to Aga underpowered, he put off Aga for a really long time, and then found where Boots and Hookshot were while you were doing Aga. Yeah, so yeah.
So wait, but did he clear all of the overworld? Because I cleared all the overworld. I cleared everything.
Yeah,
except
most of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, almost all of it. I mean, a couple of small things like Shovel and Batcave he didn't do, but something else that I just have to give you kudos for is the fact that you went into Ice Palace knowing good and well that Swamp Palace was probably the right move. Statistically, it was, and you knew that's what he was going to do first. I mean, you
needed that gamble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you needed that gamble, and I pointed out, I was like, this is exactly what you needed, even though we as spectators already knew it wasn't going to pay off. I mean, it kind of did. You got Butter Sword. That was cool.
I thought it was funny that they gave both Swamp and Ice had fetch quests, and when I got the magic powder, I stopped for a second. I'm like, no, don't do this to me. So my plan was to go ahead and go fight Argus and get at least the green pendant, and then go check in case it ended up being powder. Yeah. But then it was right there, and I was like, well. And then I saw the dot done as I was heading out. I'm like, all right, well, he won the 50-50. So.
Yeah, it didn't pay off, but it was the right move, and I've got to give you props for that. You're going to have to pull out the stops like that in your next match tomorrow. You're going to have to buckle down and force that game 3, man.
No doubt. I mean, I'm glad I got to come back to the tourney. So when I saw that dot done, I was like, well, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Yep, so not to interrupt here, but I am being told that we do have to cut this, and unfortunately, cool. I wish I didn't want to, because there's so many more questions we want to ask, but unfortunately, we have got previous engagements that we have to get to, but don't worry, don't fear not. We're going to have more Ben and Willard for you guys tomorrow, right here on Speed Gaming at 1 p.m., but for now, on behalf of both Ben and Willard, make sure you give both of them a follow. Fiesel, the amazing tech guy in the back, surrounded by his 17 screens and 14 pitchers of water, and my broadcast partner, the OK guy. I am the Greenleaf Effect, and we're going to be sending you stay here, but we got some Majora's Mask 80% coming right up, guys.
Yo, nice.
Yep. Thank you, Greenleaf. Thank you guys for running. Awesome race. I'll see you guys later.
Thanks for commentary. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.